The tiger cub. Sometimes adults find some extraordinary qualities in their children which are out of this world. It would be helpful if they take such children to a Mahatma so that they would receive proper care. But they don't do so. They feel proud for a while of the achievements of their children, but soon forget about it. Several such events have occurred during the early childhood of Swamiji. As a matter of fact, the entire life of Swamiji is according to a divine plan. You might realize that the adults in Swamiji's life were deluded by Maya and did not recognize his powers. I am going to narrate an event that occurred which shows the powers possessed by Swamiji even in his early childhood. I want you to analyze the event and see if you agree whether Maya did blind the adults from recognizing his powers or not. The behavior of Satyanarayana when he was at Ganapathy was very different to when he was at Mekedatu. It is mainly because of the way the adults viewed him at the two different places. In both places, the adults witnessed supernatural powers in Satyam, but did not recognize the phenomenon as such. At Mekedatu, he was known to be a bold and clever boy. The villagers had seen several times Satyam playing with snakes 4 times his size and with black-faced monkeys which were capable of frightening even the cheetahs. Those adults soon forgot what they saw. They considered him to be a daring young boy who might get into trouble one day. They decided to keep a close watch on him. Adults try to protect children from getting hurt and do not realize that in the process they are making the children into cowards. The adults must somehow find a middle path where they can let children do certain things without getting hurt and see that they do not become cowards. After Jayalakshmi left for Ganapathy, Linganna found life getting harder at Mekedatu. He had to face the invasion by wild animals entering the village and damaging his fields. Those days, cheetahs were in plenty in the forest. Linganna employed a strong man, Krishna, to keep guard on his herd of cows. Krishna loved Satyam and played with him often. The attacks from wild animals were greatly reduced when Jayalakshmi was in Mekedatu. Her presence always seemed to have a calming effect on the animals. Only once, cheetahs entered the village when Jayalakshmi was in Mekedatu and dragged away 2 cows from Linganna's cowshed. Linganna was extremely upset. Little Satyanarayana vowed to kill the cheetah.
I'm gonna kill that cheetah.
Jayalakshmi, his mother, did not take notice of it. Linganna was worried that the child might try to carry out his promise and asked Krishna to be extra vigilant about Satyam. Satyam tried to get out of the house. He begged Krishna to let him go. Krishna would not give him any opportunity to leave. One day, Linganna went to the neighboring village of Kanakapura on business. He brought back some balloons with him for Satyanarayana. Satyam had a flash of an idea. He collected a couple of large tins and some thread. In the evening, when it was getting dark, he quietly slipped out of the house with the tins, the thread, and the balloons. He crossed the river Arkavati and walked towards the hills. In the middle of the forest, there is a 50-foot deep pit. Satyam searched for a convenient spot near the pit. He found some thorny bushes suitable for his plan. He fixed a tin near the bush and sat in it. He then tied the thread to the balloons. He held the balloons in his hand and made them fly around the tin. He placed the other tin on his head so that he would not be seen. He sat still inside. After a while, the cheetah came near the spot. Sniffing around, it came near the bush. The flying colorful balloons must have looked like a strange animal. The thought of a strange animal frightened the cheetah. Hesitantly, it went near the bush and started sniffing. By providence, just then a ripe fruit fell from the tree above on the tin, making a loud noise. The cheetah turned around in panic. Its strong tail hit the balloons and they popped. making a loud noise. All of this happened within a few seconds. In confusion and fear, the cheetah leapt forward and fell 50 feet down into the pit. It broke its leg and gave a pitiable cry. On hearing the strange noises, Krishna ran in the direction of the noise with a lamp in his hand. Living in the forest area, one gets to develop certain codes which act as signals for communication in various situations, such as distress calls. Lingana and a few other gypsies of the village ran following the signals sent by Krishna. All of them arrived at the spot. Just then, Satyanarayana came out of the tin and was looking down at the scene. The villagers realized that it was an act of bravery by Satyam. They managed to extract the details from him and were surprised and frightened at the daring shown by the young child. Lingana embraced Satyam and showered him with kisses and gently told off his grandson for carrying out such a dangerous scheme. Krishna and others, meanwhile, started throwing rocks at the cheetah to kill it. Satyam stopped them. He said,
"It will die soon by itself. You don't need to kill it. You don't need that sin."
The cheetah died that night. Everyone in the village was full of praise for Satyam, and he was their hero for a while. They praised him for his brave and clever act in killing the cheetah. Is it not an act of Maya that Lingana, who witnessed this at a later date, thought of Satyam as a dullhead? It does confer punya on listeners who listen to the story of their guru, but one should analyze and understand the spiritual truth behind it. Swamiji has analyzed the events of his childhood and he has prepared a plan for helping children. Swamiji knows how long he should keep anyone with him and keeps them only for that length of time. Those who do not want to take note of Swamiji's advice and take the children away from Swamiji's care before he gives his permission have to face the consequences. You see the problem now faced by Chandrasekharaya? Remember that Swamiji never keeps anyone a minute longer than necessary. It is wrong to think that Swamiji keeps children for his personal needs. I don't play with children because I have free time. It is not easy to transmit spiritual waves, power and samskaras to others, taking care not to injure the subtle channels in the body, the cells in the brain, and not to cause any harm, while taking care not to cause injury to the subtle channels in the body. Swamiji carefully instills spiritual waves into the children. He changes their past tendencies. His play is really a spiritual exercise to achieve this aim. I do not say that children do not need rules and discipline in the ashrama. On the contrary, there is a strong need for them to follow rules. Swamiji does not hesitate to dismiss children who break rules and misuse the liberty that is given to them. I want adults to keep an eye on these children, but I request you to treat them as your own children. Show them the same love and compassion. That is all I ask of you. Swamiji does not differentiate between people of different ages and sex. Financial status and social standing make no difference to Swamiji. He has equal compassion towards all forms of life. There may be some good folks who were born as dogs or birds for some crime committed in the past. I do not hesitate to associate with such dogs or birds and give them my love. To you, only humans are children, but for Swamiji, trees, bushes, scorpions, snakes, birds, storks, all are his children. His family is very large.